is the new GR Corolla a get it or skip it hatch. We're showcasing the 2025 Toyota GR Corolla Core in Ice Cap. This year you can option an 8-speed automatic transmission. The front has been opened up so it gets more air because you have over 185 horsepower per cylinder, so it needs all the air to breathe. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm gonna throw in some pros and cons, compare this against the competition to see if it is a get it or skip it vehicle. They have made it a lot more aggressive for the front fascia. Matte black for the enlarged grille. It goes into the Toyota logo that brushes into the standard LED headlights and daytime runnings. Now that's on all trims, but when you go into the Premium Plus, the grille is gonna be gloss black. The hood is going to have the bulge functional gloss black air vents with a matte black roof mounted shark fin antenna and a forged carbon fiber roof. All trims are going to have 5.3 inches of clearance, so I'm liking what's going on. These are definitely reasons why I would get it. But one reason why I would skip it is what's housed underneath the hood. It's a 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder producing 300 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. And the reason why I would skip it is because I just don't like a 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. I like the Hyundai Elantra N giving us a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but the 0 to 60, 4.9 seconds, a top speed near 150 miles per hour. And when you get any GR Corolla, you have GR4, which you can dial in to a 60-40, a 30-70, or a 50-50 weight distribution to make this even more fun. No vehicle does that in class, especially when you're just a touch over 40 grand. Giving us 3 different options, that's going to change the wheels. Gloss black, 15-spoke, 18-inch wheels is going to be standard. The Premium Plus will get a matte black. Those red brake calipers are housing 4 pistons in the front. A 14-inch vented disc is behind it. Hell, the rear gets 2 pistons with a 11.2-inch vented disc. Limited slip differential for the front and the rear, it's Torsum, so you got it taken care of. With the McPherson strut front suspension, it's an independent suspension. The rear gets a multi-link. This is track ready. I understand the numbers are not necessarily to that level, but you're still achieving 21 mpgs for the city, 28 mpgs for the highway. So it's a Corolla. I mean, it's a Corolla. That's really all I can say about it. It's crazy that you would put that much into something like this. The styling, all the vents are functional. The side skirt that just flares out. It's definitely one of the most unique vehicles in class. As for Volkswagen, when you go into the GLI, it's not going to be as performance than this. You got to go into like a Golf R, which is going to be more money than this. So you can see where the savings start trickling in with standard Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. So you're taken care of there. You got blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. I mean, it's still a little sports car, but it's a family vehicle. And where the GR prices itself is more towards the premium vehicle. So you wouldn't really compare this against a Civic SI. It would be more towards a Civic R. And then when you're considering the price, this is extremely inexpensive compared to that. But the problem ultimately that arises is you have the Hyundai Elantra N that's getting pretty much the same capabilities as this, except for that all-wheel drive system, which is unique that they put that in this hatch, because typically you're looking to get something with those type of dynamics and a lot more money variant. Standard LED taillights that go into the Toyota badge. The lower, the most aggressive Corolla. You get the diffuser, you get the triple exhaust tips, that's exposed, stainless steel tips with an active exhaust that will funnel into the interior so you'll get that excitement, but yet it's still a family hatchback. There's a lot of pros when you're going into the GR Corolla. But like I was saying, the big problem I have is that 3-cylinder turbo engine. Let me know which way you would go in the comments. Would you go to the GR Corolla or the competition, or maybe even consider the Elantra N that has a 4-cylinder, but it's not going to have the dynamics of this GR4. Quick release going into 17.8 cubic feet of storage. You do have to go in, and this is going to be a little bit higher, but you do have some little storage compartments, plus you have some storage on both sides here. To take the privacy cover off, you just pull these little tabs, and because I'm tall, you can just split fold the rear bench in the back at a 40-60 split to increase the cargo capacity, but that's not really what the GR Corolla is about. We need to go inside, start it up, so you could hear that exhaust note. Key fob to the GR Corolla. Manual seat adjustment is standard on all trims. Cloth sport bucket front seats start on the Core. GR badging contrast stitch. This contrast stitch will be in red when you go into the Premium Plus. The Premium adds the leatherette seating and heated front seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. Leather wrap steering wheel is standard on all trims. GR for the push button start, GR for the shifter. They do an excellent job showcasing the sport performance in the Corolla by the badging. Standard 6 speakers, 8 speakers through JBL starts on the Premium. Let's fire it up. Eight-inch screen is standard across all trims with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi hotspot, and put it into reverse. Get a reverse camera with trajectory. Climate control setting, dual climate control starts on the Premium, as well as a wireless charging pad. USB is going to be tucked right there. You have your driver mode select right here with a standard 12.3 digital gauge cluster. You have Eco, Normal, which will change the exhaust notes, Sport, and Custom, which you can tailor that by clicking onto the settings here to make it more power derived. You also have your GR4 gauges here that can change for gravel and normal. Leather around the manual brake, cup holders, and it's going to be a little bit more basic, but I'm expecting that. The steering wheel is multi-function. Now this is configurable. Whenever you click onto the OK, you can change each side, or you can just leave it blank. But me personally, I would probably leave it on like a navigation, keep it into some of the sport gauges here, either on the side. You can use your audio, the fuel economy, and even in the center here, you can change out different settings as well to keep it blank or just have it for the position of the gears. The dashboard is going to be flat, and they keep the same style as the regular Corolla, except it's more sporty with the sport pedals. Headroom, more than enough, with a manual rear view mirror. Door panel and dash configuring together. You get the matte black here. One touch up and down for the windows. It's going to be soft to touch where it needs to be, with a medium-sized storage pocket. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down. Fold that up and you can fit 3 more. You have a 12-volt with a USB. Storage is not going to be behind any of the front seats, but you do receive a cup or bottle holder. It's soft to touch where it needs to be, and the matte black comes into play. Sitting behind me in the driver's seat, the seat doesn't contour inwards, but you still have a sufficient amount of room, and the same thing for headroom. It actually is carved out relatively well considering the size of the vehicle. Sliding into the center is going to be a little bit tough because the rails are not pushed up enough. So I'm going to be sharing some feet space, butt, leg, and shoulder space. Especially if the seat is pushed back, it's going to be a lot more cramped as you're seeing my knee space. Anyone that's over 6 foot tall, just don't have them sitting into the center. Put them onto the side so they can enjoy the ride. 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder with 300 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That is impressive. You have rev match, so you don't have to be so concerned if you're not familiar with the manual transmission. And there's some traffic, so we're not going to be able to see too much of the performance. But I mean, when you're thinking about that limited slip differential for the front and the rear, the GR4 all-wheel drive system, all these things that are more found in cars that are well over 50 grand. They're putting a lot into this Corolla. And like I said on the exterior, it's a Corolla, but it's going to lead me to some pros and cons. Besides all the pros that I've already stated on the exterior and the interior, it's still a practical vehicle to drive. I mean, you're getting 21 mpgs for the city, 28 mpgs for the highway. I like that you're getting a standard 12.3 digital gauge cluster. Most of the amenities are standard, so you don't necessarily have to go up the tier, but if you want more cooling for that 3-cylinder turbo, you have to go into the Premium, which is going to lead me into some cons. The ride is going to be a lot more bumpy. It's to be expected with the suspension and the wheels and the sport seats. It's very noisy in the interior. Again, a lot of these things you're going to lose in the sense of sound deadening and comfort because they're giving so much in performance. So you do have to keep those things in mind for the cons. But the ultimate issue I have is that 3-cylinder turbo, because there has been a few people that have illustrated on the forums that the engine basically exploded. And when you're considering how much power you're getting underneath this per cylinder, that is crazy. And one of the examples was because somebody shifted the gears from like 5th gear, from like 6th gear to 3rd gear or something like that, and it just caused a lot of issues. The heel to toe can be a little bit picky because the way the pedals are situated, so I think the Hyundai Elantra N does a little bit better job there. Safety though is taken care of, so that's definitely a pro, but most of the time you're not really considering that for a sports hatch. Turn radius is gonna be a pickle, but I can get it in about 2 lanes. That's why you wanna go into a hot hatch. Going against competition though, Volkswagen, they do a good job in their pricing and what you're getting as an all-around value and what you're getting as performance too, but this is going to be better than that variant, or you're gonna have to spend a lot more money than you would going into the core for the GR Corolla. Hyundai Elantra N, that's why it's kind of the sweet spot vehicle. You're around 35 grand, you're getting a lot of capabilities, except you don't get that unique 4-wheel drive system that is here, but you get a turbocharged 4. So I kind of wish they integrated that 4-cylinder here, and then this vehicle would be absolutely perfect. As for the Civic, the SI wouldn't be really comparable against this, especially with the pricing. The R is going to be a lot more money than this, so you're expecting it to be a little bit more of a wow vehicle. And what better way to see some of the dynamics with a little bit of a bend. She is fast, and because we have all those pistons for brakes, look at this. You can literally just weave in and out. No issues. That's why this is such a fun vehicle. I mean, 4 pistons in the front, 2 pistons in the back. You got the brakes that's taken care of. You got the performance underneath the hood. You have the suspension. The interior has that vibe, especially when you're in sport mode, because you can hear the exhaust. It's a little bit more throaty. It's not gonna sound like a V8, but I think it has a pretty nice, unique sound. And because it has Riv match, it makes it easier for anyone that's not familiar with a stick shift. So I mean, I like that you're getting all of these amenities all blended in with, I hate to say it, but it's like track worthy, even though the numbers are not quite there. I mean, you're gonna get a speeding ticket really quick, and it feels a lot faster than the numbers. All these reasons is definitely why I would get it, but ultimately, the reason why I would skip it is because of that 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, membership, live streams, TikTok, Instagram, and website. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Gettle Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2025 Toyota GR Corolla for a car review.